In a society that is constantly telling us we need more, it's refreshing to read a book that encourages us to do with less. In The Year of Less, author Cait Flanders details her journey of getting out of debt and living more of a minimalist lifestyle. The book is part memoir, part how-to guide, and provides readers with an interesting perspective on finding happiness through simplifying one's life. The premise of the book is that Flanders decided to stop shopping for an entire year in order to get out of debt and focus on other areas for life. Flanders' story is both inspiring and relatable, with her writing style is engaging and easy to read. I would recommend this book to anyone who's interested in learning more about minimalism and personal finance. It was really inspiring, and it made me want to try and do a year with no shopping. Obviously, there are some parameters, and she has that in her book as well about what she can and cannot buy. Flanders begins her story by sharing some background on her upbringing and how she ended up in debt. She paints a picture of a typical middle-class existence, complete with good schools, extracurricular activities, and family vacations. However, what Flanders also had was a lot of stuff and the debt to go along with it. After racking up $30,000 in credit card debt, she decides enough is enough and embarks on a quest to get out of debt and to live a simple life. Flanders chronicles her journeys throughout the year, sharing both the highs and the lows with readers. She talks about how difficult it is at first to break her shopping habits and how she had to relearn how to have fun without spending money. One of the most eye-opening moments for me was reading about all the things she used to spend money on that she no longer missed. For example, she talks about how she used to spend $100 plus a month on coffee shops, coffees, lattes, and during her year of less, she spent less than $12 on coffee total. It really made me think about my own spending habits and where I could cut back. There's always little ways, and what I noticed is she didn't take the joy out of her life either. After being debt-free, Flanders decides to take things one step further and embarks on a year-long spending freeze. She would talk about how she would buy books and, like $10, $15 here and there. It didn't seem so big, but obviously it adds up quickly. During this time, she allows herself to spend money on only necessities like food, rent, transportation. She travels during this time as well. She starts hiking. Flanders documents her journey with brutal honesty, sharing both her successes and failures along the way. She also provides helpful tips to anyone who might be considering a similar experiment. There's a how-to guide in the back, there's task lists, there's a whole bunch of resources. For example, she advises readers to create a fun fund for themselves so that they don't become too deprived during their spending freeze. I found The Year of Less to be enjoyable and an inspiring read. If you're at all interested in minimalism or personal finance, I would definitely recommend checking it out. She also has a second book out now as well that I haven't read, but I'm very curious to see what it's about, so let me know if you've read it, what your thoughts are. Flanders chronicles her journey in an engaging and relatable way, sharing both her successes and failures, and one of the most interesting aspects in the book is learning about all the things the author was willing to give up in order to save money and pay off debt. She got rid of her car, learned to take public transit. I don't know that I could do that route. Maybe if you're in a really populated city and you have an amazing transportation system, but she stopped shopping for new clothes, gave up alcohol for a year. Like I said, books was a big thing she would buy all the time, and as you can see behind me, I'm also guilty of that. While Flanders' story is certainly inspirational, what makes this book really stand out is the practical advice she provides readers on ways they can simplify their own lives. She includes helpful tips on everything from decluttering your home to creating a budget that works. I think step one is you create an inventory. You literally go through your house. Okay, how many of these do you have? How many of those? And you realize how quickly what you have. There's also an extensive resource section at the end of the book that contains even more information on minimalism and living with less. While some may see The Year of Less as a book about deprivation, I actually found it the quite opposite. Flanders talks about how freeing it is to break her shopping addiction and live a more minimalist lifestyle. She also stresses that the point of the experiment wasn't to never spend any money again, but rather be more mindful about her spending and only purchase items that brought her joy and that she actually needed. If you're looking for a motivation to declutter your home, some people do this in the new year, some people do this every few months, but The Year of Less is definitely worth reading. Cait Flanders does an excellent job of sharing her personal story in a relatable way while also providing readers with practical advice on ways they can reduce their own consumption, whether you're struggling with debt or just looking to lead a simpler life, this book is sure to provide some valuable insights. Flanders' story is sure to resonate with anyone who has ever struggled with overspending or trying to get out of debt. It's a quick read that will leave you feeling motivated to change your own spending habits. So let me know in the comments, have you ever tried to do a year of no shopping? What did you cut out? What did you find you don't miss anymore? Let me know.